Welcome back to the second part of a three-part series on Curaçao. Before we get started on snorkeling and the beaches, I wanted to give you a quick highlight of what the weather was like for the week we were here. First up on our tour of the island is Tugboat Beach. This beach is aptly named because of the sunken tugboat off the coast that you're able to snorkel. As you walk up to this beach from the parking lot, you're going to see an odd mix of boats and woodworking. There's actually a craft shop here that you can make your own souvenirs to take home. But there is a little restaurant area, there is a little gift shop area. There are some chairs on the rocky beach and as well as some chairs up here on this platform. Off to the right, you're going to see a very large oil rig. I don't think it's in use anymore, but there are people still on it, so you actually are able to snorkel along the bottom of that as well. Staff took us over to a map to show us all the different areas that we were going to want to snorkel and exactly where the tugboat was located off the coast. First up was snorkeling the base of that oil rig, where you can see here that they're actually growing coral to place around the island. From there, you're going to swim away from the oil rig and you're going to go past a series of these pillars. Once you get past that last pillar though, you're going to come to the tugboat. This was a beautiful place to snorkel. There were tons of fish, but there were also a lot of people. Keep in mind that this was pretty far off the coast, so if you're not a strong swimmer, you might need some type of flotation device. Next, we're going to move further north on the same coast of the island to Cookoo Beach. Cookoo Beach was also a rocky beach, just like Tugboat Beach was. They also had a very large restaurant, lots of chairs available for rent, and some covered areas if you needed to get out of the sun. I would say that Cookoo Beach is about a mid-sized beach. Tugboat Beach was very, very little, but we're going to see a beach later in this video that is much larger. We did notice that a lot of the beaches in Curaçao are coral, so it is a little rough on your feet getting in and out of the water, so a pair of water shoes is probably a really good idea. A lot of the beaches on the island will offer snorkeling gear for you to rent, but you can also get your scuba certifications. Fun fact, people aren't the only thing that like to sun themselves on the beaches of Curaçao. As we continue north up the coast, our next stop is Cas Abao Beach, which by far is the largest beach we're going to visit. Actually, this beach was not only the largest, but it's also the only one we had to pay an entry fee at. This beach also seems to be where all of the cruise ships bring their passengers, as they had large sections of chairs completely roped off just for their use. We did eventually find our way all the way down to the far right-hand side of the beach, and again, this was quite a hike. It is a very large beach, but you will notice as we walk along the beach here, they're going to have a full bar, a restaurant, a scuba shop, and large restrooms. positive of this beach was it is beautiful white sand, which was super nice on our feet after all of the coral beaches we had already been to. However, that lack of coral made the snorkeling a little boring, as there was nothing really for the fish to hide in or around or be near, so there really wasn't much to see here. The remaining beaches we're going to look at in this video are all at this very northern end of the island. Those of you who've seen part 1 of our series know that we stayed at an all-inclusive. However, today was one of the days that we ate some lunch off-property. We found this little open-air cafe right in the parking lot of Lagun Beach. They really did have a great selection of local dishes and familiar treats, so there was definitely something for anyone on this menu. We did get joined by this super cute 4-legged friend who wanted us to break the rules and let him join us for lunch. After lunch, we just walked across the parking lot and were able to walk straight out onto the beach. This beach did have chairs for rent, but they did not have umbrellas. So you're going to notice that a lot of people pulled their chairs under the trees for some shade. There are some poisonous trees here in Curaçao, and they actually post big signs on the tree telling you not to hang out underneath them because even the sap can be poisonous. I do have to say that snorkeling here was absolutely beautiful. Those sheer cliff walls made just a beautiful place for all of the coral to grow and the fish to hang out. Just a few miles up the road from Lagun are the next 2 beaches we're going to talk about, starting with Klein Beach. Klein Beach was very similar in size to Lagun Beach. Here you can see they did have sunbeds and umbrellas for rent. If you're wondering what the cost of these were, it's about $12 to rent 2 beds and an umbrella for the day. Since the sun does set on this side of the island, you won't struggle to find a beautiful place to watch a gorgeous sunset. Here in a minute, I'm going to show you a bonus sunset spot. You can see in these videos the snorkeling here did not disappoint. We are saving the very best snorkeling place for last, so make sure you stick around to the end of the video. As you explore the island, you're going to see there are many stray cats and dogs. As we were leaving Klein, we thought we were going to make a new friend, but he was just looking for a place to take a bath. The locals do a really good job though of trying to take care of these animals. They do feed them, plus we did see a lot of signage for where they were trying to capture them, spay them, and then release them back out into the wild to try and control future populations. Up next is Grot Beach. This was literally just about a mile up the road from Klein, but this beach looked completely different from where we just were. We did not actually swim at this beach, so I can't say what the snorkeling is like. However, the parking lot is above the beach, so at the top of the steps there's this little overlook area, and we just stopped briefly to film some footage to kind of give you an idea of what this beach looked like. You can also see that this outlook area provides a beautiful place to watch a sunset. Speaking of sunsets, let's talk about that bonus spot I promised you earlier in the video. You can see on this map that it is directly between Klein and Grot Beach. It really isn't marked, it's just a little pull off on the side of the road where you're going to find a gravel walkway that's going to lead you back to this overlook. The end of the path, you're going to find out that you're over a beautiful cave with crystal clear water and a beautiful view of sunset. Finally, we come to the northernmost beach that we swam at, Playa Piskado. This beach is a little unique because it was by far the least attractive beach that we visited the entire time we were on the island. However, in my opinion, had the absolute best snorkeling we encountered our entire stay. You are definitely going to need water shoes for this beach, and as you can see, you can rent chairs and umbrellas. You can also rent snorkeling gear, and if you are going to rent snorkeling gear at one beach, it should definitely be this one. Unlike some of the other beaches that had full restaurants, this one has a snack bar, so you still will be able to grab something to eat and a drink. And this is why the snorkeling is so amazing. The local fishermen still bring their daily catches into this beach, and they clean them right there on the beach edge. So they do throw all their fish heads and fish pieces into the water, which brings the sea turtles in to eat. That being said, you can imagine this beach is very popular for snorkeling, and the area around the pier where they're feeding the turtles, the water can actually be a little murky because everyone's kicking up the sand. However, if you swim to the far left-hand side of the dock, you are going to get much clearer, much more beautiful snorkeling, and you're still going to be able to see the turtles. I filmed this section of video really far from that pier, and I was still able to find 2 sea turtles that were just swimming around enjoying themselves. Sea turtles aren't the only thing you're going to see at this beach. There was a large variety of fish and sea urchins, as well as we spotted this moray eel and an additional eel called a sharp-tail eel, although I thought it very much looked like a sea snake. There really were just so many unique coral formations that the fish were just everywhere you looked. As we wrap up this video, I want to leave you with just a few quick reminders. Also, I'm going to share with you some photos and a time lapse we took at that bonus spot. Thanks for sticking with us to the end of part 2 of our Curaçao series. Don't forget there will be a third video about all of our sightseeing adventures on the island. We really do hope you'll consider subscribing to our channel and checking out the rest of our content. Thank you so much for watching, and happy travels.